It looks like we are ready, almost ready. We are getting ready. We've got our participants lining up. How is everyone doing? Hope everyone's having a splendiferous day. Absolutely splendiferous. All right, and we are about ready. It looks like Jedi has popped in.
Yeah, perfect. We're here.
Yep, and now we're waiting on the usually working fellow. Usually working, usually occupied. By the way, Jedi, fabulous dancing, fabulous helmet, fabulous shirt.
Oh, dude, I took the helmet off though, but I got the jacket, I got the pocket square, we got the Bitcoin shirt 'cause it's the future.
I mean, yeah, and then obviously usually working is dressed up like a Christmas tree. It's beautiful.
Oh,
So,
yeah, well, sure.
it's beautiful. I love it. Anyway,
It's not a Christmas tree. It's the future. Okay, this is LED lights. Is the future. It's guaranteed.
Are you saying that all of our clothing is going to be RGB lighting?
Yeah, 100%. Like that makes
Okay.
us go faster. That's literally science, Kaz. I don't have to explain this to me.
Okay.
You're an educated man.
Okay. I will accept your premise, but let's lay down the ground rules. Let's keep it clean. It's a futuristic build. You have 1 hour, Jedi. And
You know what's so funny? The chat's already asking, if we have more than an hour.
You got exactly 1 hour. I will hit the timer in about 10 seconds. Any last minute regrets before you begin?
Yeah, I don't have enough LED lights. Can I get more?
Nope. You have 4 seconds. And 3,
It's too
2,
late.
1, and start! The
Rock and
Grudge
roll,
match
boys.
has begun. Best of luck to Imperial Jedi and Usually Working. So, Usually Working, as the man who has challenged this one, you're the one that dished out the challenge. Did you pick the theme, or did you allow Jedi to come up with the theme?
I think it was like a consensual agreement. I do believe.
Yeah, like right on the spot too. We both seem to be on board with it.
Really? Oh yeah, that's right, because you guys did that last week during last week's Grudge match event. You'd think I'd remember these things, but really I don't. But that's okay.
Time flies, man.
It does, absolutely. I can't believe we're already on the second Grudge match. And then, Jedi, you're actually going to be participating in Grudge match number 4, apparently. So, yeah, that'll be fun. I'm going to kick your
Is that the one against you?
Yeah. That's Grudge match number 4.
Sweet.
It's going to be absolutely legendary. And, folks, of course, that was a reward for us hitting $2,047.43 in the charity stream the other day. It was absolutely
insane.
Legendary. Well, Kaz would be happy about this. It's true, I would be happy about RGB for life. So, what are both your plans? So, Jedi, as the one that was challenged, what's your strategy? What's your plan? What are you trying to build today?
I'm kind of going for like a cyberpunk styled city here. So future vibes. We'll kind of see how it goes. I have a tendency to plan like way over in size. So I'm going to try to make this like compact in the right way here.
Okay, because again, just so you're clear, you have 58 minutes and 34 seconds left.
I know.
Adventures of AJ with the raid. Welcome on in. Thanks for bringing your community on in. There we go. And then also Usually Working. So what are you doing? You've already got a big dome going on. What's with the dome?
Well, clearly, me being Mars Command 1, I am creating the Mars Dome 2743 Charlie, which is our newest development here at Mars Command.
Gotcha. So you're just going full on future. So you're assuming that we are going to get to Mars, basically. That's what you're saying.
No, I don't think you understand. I am at Mars. I'm literally Mars Command. Do you not see all the LED lights on me?
Okay,
like,
I believe you.
I'm like
you're
300
at
years in the
Mars.
future.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. So wait, how are you competing in the past then? Can I ask that?
Okay, I was trying to describe this to my chat. Okay, time is a continuum, but if you reach back into certain parts, it's like a book, and you flip the pages are still there even if you flip backward. It's too
Oh wow. Okay, I'm on board with that. That's actually pretty deep.
That's like mind-boggling. Chat, what do you think of that? What's up, Q-Boy? Thank you for the support for Season Snap. Really means a lot. So, as far as the actual futuristic builds, I mean, obviously an hour is not much time to build. So, what are you guys planning on focusing on? Is your focus going to be kind of the grand scheme? Is it going to be the little details? Because do you really have time for everything in 1 hour?
I want to say yes, but like not really. So it's got to be like layout and then grand scheme and then just not build so big.
And then not build something? Okay. So you'll have like a frame and you'll have like a little
not like building
image.
too big, you know?
So you're going to have like a little paint image, like, and then imagine a skyline here.
No.
Are you, because sometimes you need that for the main event. I mean, an hour, because you have an hour, not 90 minutes, right?
I know.
I've been asked to reinforce that to you. No, but this is absolutely great, and it is really interesting because again, you guys have actually faced off in the main event before, haven't you?
Yeah, that's right. We have.
Yeah. So which event was that again? Out of curiosity.
The logging
I want to
industry,
say,
right? Was it logging?
no. Was it like, wasn't it campus or something?
I want to say you guys both did campus whenever we did that.
I want to say that.
Yeah, I think you both did campus because
Yes.
he did. Yeah, because usually working, you did the military type campus, and then Jedi, you did a really good job of doing like the busing infrastructure around the university. Yeah, I remember that build. That was actually one of the strongest weeks of the competition, actually. So, I mean, you guys faced off then, and obviously, you guys are still, friendly with each other, even though, you both.
Oh, sure. This is just for appearances, actually. No, we can barely stand each other.
Yeah,
oh, really?
that-
You can
Yeah,
barely stand
right.
each other?
Not
Yeah.
even close. I love him.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
I'm
guys should have seen
actually
chat
filing a
earlier.
Twitch complaint. I'm just gonna let you know.
Oh, you are? Okay. I mean, are you gonna get that restraining order against Jedi, or like, I mean?
Wow. Okay. You know what?
Only if he restrains himself against me.
Oh my God.
What does that even
What is-
mean?
oh.
Only if he does. Oh my goodness. Anyways,
No
okay,
holding
my
back,
fault,
no holding
it's
back.
easy. There we go. But yeah, so now as far as this, and already I'm seeing some symmetry. Now, is symmetry something that is part of the future in your guys' minds as far as city building, or what's the deal there?
Yeah, I feel like maybe efficiency and planning is like taking a step forward.
Really?
Yeah,
And
I mean,
also, Jedi, your new microphone. Jeez, it sounds beautiful.
Oh,
I
thanks,
love it.
man.
Yeah, which microphone are you using? Out of curiosity. I have to
To be
ask.
honest, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like Mano or something like that.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Dude, I was just searching for mics and on like Prime Day, and it was like the top one. So I was like, sure, and it was like under $100, and I was like, okay. And it came with like boom arm and like everything.
Hey, that's all you can ask for if it comes with everything. Jed's a bit louder than you usually says. Okay, I'll turn him down slightly. There we go. Hear that, Jedi? You're too loud. I've got to turn you down.
Yeah, sorry. My chat was telling me I was like not like loud enough. It's like OBS has me as too low, and then Discord has me as too high right now. So I apologize for that, guys.
Oh no, you're perfectly fine. Because keep in mind, my levels were still adjusted to you from Sunday's event.
Yeah,
because
different
obviously,
mic.
different mic, different day, all that stuff. So we went ahead, we fixed all of that. Is that better now on this end, chap? I'm just trying to tune it on my end here. There we go. There we go. Is Kazai? There we go. Good night, guys. We'll see you later, Eclipse Chris. I guess Chris is not willing to stick around and see who wins between the two of you. It's a shame. It's a shame.
Oh, no,
He's missing
no.
a good one here.
Dude, we can never say bad about Chris. Chris is a forever champion.
He is a forever champion. He has
Dude,
done so well.
after Sunday, like holy banana sauce.
After Sunday, everyone, the whole community. I still can't believe we raised that much money for charity. Dear goodness gracious. That was absolutely legendary. And what's actually really great is I actually mentioned the thing, and it turns out that the charity itself got a hold of me afterwards and said some nice things. So that was actually really nice. They were very, very nice about things. I asked them about something to do with the charity, about, hey, we've got something else I want to add. Can I add this to the campaign after the fact? And they're really nice about it, too. They're like, oh, yeah, and really great job. We normally first-time fundraisers raise like $10. And I was like, well, we outplayed that. Because we have the best community on Twitch, guaranteed. Oh, that was nice. It is nice. They were very, very nice. They're a very nice bunch of people. Now, so already working, you've already got a skyline going on. And Jedi has pavement.
Jedi's got layout. Layout and highway. This is the future part, boys.
Is it a layout? Is it just
Yeah.
pavement?
I think
Are
it's
the
No, you know
living
what? You know what's
underground?
sneaky? You know what's sneaky beaky in here? Look at this. We got some monorails.
Oh, you did? Oh, I just noticed that.
Oh, look at that. The
Oh.
future.
I
Will be
didn't even
transport.
notice that. Wow, you snuck that in there. Did you think I wouldn't notice that? To be fair, I didn't notice it. I actually like that. That's great. So now, is that on purpose? That's only connecting in one direction like that?
Yeah.
Or-
I'm gonna have like a mix of transit here.
Okay, gotcha. I do like that a lot, though. That's actually really cool. Because again, whenever we do think of futuristic cities, we think of monorails. We think of big, just awesome forms of transportation that are just super efficient, keep you off the roads, and keep you moving from one side of the mega city to the other. But also, the other thing that's interesting is we see a lot of this stuff of the future about getting long distances quickly, but a lot of scientists these days are actually starting to agree that cities of the future are going to be probably about as tall as they are long or wide, which is interesting. Do you guys think that there's any validity to either of those?
Yeah, I feel like a city can only go so like wide, right? So it eventually has to go high, and then like density brings like better forms of transit too, theoretically.
Yeah, I'm all about I just want some hive buildings. Like that's what I really want. Just make it like maybe the size of Los Angeles, but maybe as tall as the size of Los Angeles too, and then just have a complete society within like a little couple of square miles.
Well, and honestly, that's what I mean is technically the most efficient way of living, and honestly, that is all. There's another reason why that's been talked about by scientists and everything like that. And it's actually why I love that you guys are doing this, because I kid you not, about 2 weeks ago, I was watching a couple of TED Talks about, cities of the future and all that. So I swear you guys are stalking me or something. But anyway, so I was watching this, and this guy was actually talking about the fact that not only is it more convenient for all your luxuries, things like that, but it also helps with things like farming, because it allows you to have more open farmland, and it preserves more wildlife, etc. If you can.
Oh, you seen those vertical farms too?
Yes, I have seen those vertical farms.
Dude, that's such a cool thought.
If I don't see vertical farms from either of you today, I'm just gonna be sad. Like I will ask chat to vote against you. I will add a third participant. I will add a third participant to the vote if you guys don't have that. There we go. Sorry, I had to get some of my streamer juice going. So also, usually working, I did want to ask you, so why did you want to challenge Jedi in particular? Because you could have challenged anyone in the whole wide world. Why did you challenge this guy?
Well, when I say doing things easily, it's not in my vocabulary. And Jedi being a very professional and very well known.
Oh, for sure, professional.
Excuse me, I'm talking. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm talking.
Wow.
Okay, so besides that one moment right there, Jedi used to be very professional. Okay, so the real answer is I know Jedi. I've watched him for a very long time. I thought it would just be it's essentially like, I'm the underdog streamer. I've won maybe once or twice, but Jedi, here he is. He's got like the 100 viewer channel, and here I am, and I've got 7. But guess what? 7 views still wins. That's the big thing in the end.
Yo, I've never won one of these, so you've got a really good
he's never
stance
won
here.
cities in a snap.
I know. It's an easy win. It's an easy win, Kaz. That's all I'm saying. I didn't want to really come out and say that directly, but like,
oh my god, I feel so personally attacked right now.
I mean, Jedi, will this be your first cities in a snap victory?
Honestly, like I'm gonna go with the long run and say no, because like the trend will be broken then. I mean, you never know. You never know. A Cinderella story can come true sometimes.
But
right?
I mean, that's also like Taradra used to be second all the time until he literally won.
Yeah, until he won like in flying colors. So like, it happens eventually. But I do have to ask. So, I do think that that's good though, because a huge thing that a lot of people brought up, not just with these grudge matches, but with the mainline events, is everyone's always afraid that the biggest streamer, the most popular streamer, is always going to win. And
not the case ever.
I have data that is quite the contrary to that, because if that were true, Jedi and Taradra would be the 2 uncontested champions of the thing. Like, they just would. And that is not the case at all. They're actually, for how often they've participated, they have won the least. Though Taradra is ironically almost always second, which is just a meme of the channel at this point. Apparently, Polyphony is always first, and Taradra is always second.
Dude, I say hi to your bot so often. I said it again today.
To be fair, Polyphony is probably sentient and is probably not trying to dominate the world. Have you actually seen some of the tools I've built for her lately, Jedi?
No.
So your channel point rewards? A lot of us have ones for like, name a road and city skylines, or like, name a citizen and surviving Mars, etc., etc. Doesn't it bug you that you don't have specific profiles for those? Baked into Twitch?
I want to say, yes, actually, yeah, I do, yeah. Because you have to turn it up on and off.
Polyphony does it automatically now.
Yeah, that's smart.
It's brilliant. And then also the mass ban system, which is probably one of the most valuable things. Anyone can actually log in with their Twitch account, and like, let's say Jedi, you have like 12 moderated channels that you have, and you need to like ban someone from all 12 because it's just a bad juju's person. You can just log into Polyphony, type ban this person, and then your account goes through and bans all of the channels instantly.
That's smart. That's sneaky.
Then there's also the Polyphony mass ban list, which is much larger, currently protecting 67 channels now. Using a lot of stuff to sit there and just make sure that trolls stay out of the community, because obviously none of us like to see those people that just come into chat and they just come into chat and start screaming profanities at you. So
yeah, luckily that's a rarity though.
It is. It is. Like, honestly, it's one of those tools that like I had to use it maybe once a week, and I use it once a week probably only because it's in so many channels that I see more of it. But it's one of those things that's just, it's so nice because it just helps clean that up, and it makes it to where there's a lot less worry. It's actually really great. It's a great deterrent too. I use mainly for exactly. And Kitty Claude even mentioned I mainly use it for bots because Kitty Claude's
sorry,
actually
one second. I'm just gonna mute you all for a sec just to talk to chat for a split second.
You're fine. You're fine. There we go. Chat Profanities. Profanities. What's up, Attitude? How are you doing, my friend? She's slowly taking over Twitch. No, she's not. She's not quite taking over Twitch. There you go. Ignis indeed. So usually working. I love your city so far. Don't tell Jedi, but I love your city so far. What is your inspiration point for this? Because it kind of looks like you're going for like the generic like 80s style cities of the future. Is that kind of what you're going for here?
Well, realistically, there's a lot of inspiration for this. Excuse me. Wow, a lot of inspiration for this, and a lot of this does come from, a very 80s generic style, but also, I love my Skylands YouTubes, and City Wall does a Mars colony thing, and I've kind of taken some of his ideas and then turned it into.
I recognize the dome. The dome was the big thing for me because that was one of the first things he showed off. He was like, "Hey, we're going to be building this whole thing in pods like these," and I was like, "Oh, I'm hooked." That's what got me hooked on the series instantly.
Yeah, absolutely. But also, what a great idea! Because if we go to Mars, we actually wouldn't be at the dome stage at all, probably for a couple hundred years. We would be in little tiny pods, and it works scientifically, but I don't think it works thematically.
Practically, we are very far away from it. We are absolutely far away.
Yeah, absolutely.
Surviving Mars? Maybe surviving Mars even, yeah. I mean, yeah, usually working is trying to survive Mars. Is that why you picked the desert map?
Oh, well, so Jedi and we came together and we were like, all right, we want something that is pretty cool and it's awesome and it'll kind of like have a dystopian future kind of thing. So we chose the desert, and I'm not sure exactly what he's doing quite yet, but we have the same general theme, essentially.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same ballpark as you. Were kind of joking. We probably downloaded a lot of the same assets.
Yeah, we probably literally were like, let me go to this collection, save all. Go to this collection, save all.
To be fair, we've all done that. So why don't you talk a little bit about that tube network that you're laying down there working? That's a fairly unique asset.
It is. So this is known as a hyperloop. Which is scientifically being created right now. It's technically a pressurized dome. Well, it's like a bullet going through a gun, except for once you remove the pressure from a tube, there's no more resistance from air. So magnetism is the only resistance that you find. So if then you accentuate a hyperloop with a hypermagnet, you can move a piece of metal like a piece of slab or the train of a car, if you want to call it that, through this hyper tube at great speeds.
The science behind that's so cool.
Yeah, it is. And well, there technically is a working one. It's underneath Los Angeles, and it goes all the way to Elon Musk is making it, just like Elon Musk is making it.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, well, there's still well over a year from getting just like you and me on there as passengers. Like, they're still working out. Honestly, I think one of the biggest things is the approach to the stations that they're still working out, at least last I checked. Does that match with what you've read about it usually working?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are wrong with it. The vibration is probably the biggest thing because we don't have actual maglev technology. It's still running on a rail system, like a monorail. And once you get up to a certain speed, like you just start shaking everything.
Exactly, because I know that's a problem. I know the approach to the station is a problem. Shockingly enough, raising speed while leaving the station is not a problem, apparently not, because that's something that just like you slowly power on the magnets and then that naturally takes care of it. But one of the big problems is how do you come to a natural stop without kind of trying to rely on, not really luck, but just kind of trying to rely on, okay, let's make sure it hits these magnets exactly right, for which you'd basically need to know the exact weight of everything on that train. So it's one of those things that's a little difficult to kind of get working correctly. Get it? Because usually working. Yeah.
Ayo.
No, I've never worked a day in my life. I don't understand. Can you please explain it further?
God.
So you don't even know what your own meme of a channel name is. Gotcha. You know what? That's fine. At least you admit it, and the rest of us just don't. Also, so Jedi, you're just kind of plopping down a lot of buildings. Now, are these final positions, or are you more just kind of doing the whole I want to look at my palette type thing?
No, I need to. Well, I kind of know what the palette is. Like, I gotta move fast, right? But I'm trying to make like a really tall middle for the tall buildings,
right
downtown, I guess what I'm trying to say, and then like kind of scale it downward. So I want the tall buildings going here. So I'm trying to like rapid place and then maybe possibly zone in between.
Now, to be fair, Jedi, you already in 19 minutes have more down than you have sometimes at the hour mark of the normal
Oh, dude, I have learned so much from my mistakes, man.
Yeah, like you're just flying by. Because folks, they have
I trust me, I've been there and I've done that too.
Oh, really? Have you?
Well, yeah, I think my first season of Snap, I think my first one, I made like a single city block and it actually ended up being like the size of Denver. And then I had to just mass build off of it. I've definitely learned since then to scale down the builds a little bit.
Now, Jedi,
or hide some more stuff with trees, right?
Listen, I haven't even touched the forest brush this entire time.
Does Mars have trees?
It's the future. Of course, we have trees.
Oh, yeah, we terraformed already.
Mars.
We're
in a dome.
Okay. True, we terraformed the dome. But how much did we terraform? Do we terraform unique domes? Are we just terraforming the dome we're in? Have we terraformed any of the land around it? What's the status of terraforming 300 years in the future? Come on. We need details.
Oh, it's only in the dome. Yeah, like outside is like... So we tried to drop a nuke onto the South Pole in order for it to melt the ice. That really didn't work out, so it kind of killed the rest of the planet. But hey,
do you know the game?
Dome.
I think it's called Terraforming Mars, like a board game. Do you know that one?
No, what's terraforming Mars? Now I've got to look this up.
Oh my god, I played with my old roommates this last week, and one of the objectives you can do to like help get the climate up a little bit is you can detonate nukes, but it kind of like renders the area a little unlivable for a while.
So there is a science behind it, and of course, or the Martian great leader Elon Musk wanted to do that too, because that's what I'm basing this build off of. Also, because he's our glorious leader that led us to Mars, so we kind of worship him like a deity, sort of. It's a little weird, but it's Elon Musk, you know.
Now, here's the real question. Did Musk actually end up immigrating to Mars like he wanted?
That's actually top secret. That's
Ooh, I like that.
Say that
wow, he doesn't have the answers, folks. You hear that?
No, I'm literally Mars Command, Kaz. I have the answers. I just can't tell you. Look, you're making me mess up my camera.
You say, oh, also, I like, by the way, I know you guys did this on purpose, but I'm just going to comment on it because it's hilarious. Your guys' cameras could not be any further away from each other if you tried.
Oh, perfect. Good.
It's
good.
Great.
Yeah, I don't want to be close to his camera. Like, look at his camera. It's disgusting.
Sounds
it's got purple lighting in the background.
I'm wearing purple lighting. I'm literally wearing it.
No, sometimes you're wearing purple lighting. For about 90% of the time, it's nothing even close to purple. And you can't even deny that.
Well, I mean, that's how RGB works. You are correct.
See, exactly. So you've been disproven. Moving on. So Jedi, how's... So Jedi, I do have to ask, so your overall road layout, so what are you... So obviously, we see Working is trying to fit his within a dome. But, oh my goodness, I'm sorry about that. Anyway, so... we know that he's trying to fit his inside a dome, but as far as your build, what's your road layout like? So, I mean, you've mentioned that you're going for density in the middle, then going out, but
yeah,
not
kind of like grid-like.
So, kind of grid-like?
Yeah, grid-like, but not like a perfect grid, because it's just too hard to get that, you know?
Who has time for perfect grids anyway?
Yeah, I feel like the more I play, too, the less I want to do perfect grids, or I love this just organically, even though this is just, like, nothing really.
Well, and it still has the power of the grid. That's the thing.
Yeah,
while
exactly.
Still being aesthetically pleasing.
So I want to say, like, again, American fundamentally.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's one of those things that it's this. Now, why do you think this is that so many people are just so turned off by the idea of grids in general? Do you think it's because they're only thinking of the super perfect grids, or is it because they just think that grids are inferior, or what do you think that is?
No, I feel like just most cities, if you were to like put them all together and add it all up, I think most cities don't have grids. I think they're more just kind of like chaos. It's like the newer, like, you know, American kind of like those kind of cities that were more planned, that didn't start in like 1600 something or earlier, like 1200, you know?
Right. Well, that definitely makes sense, and that does make a lot of sense, because again, a lot of fans of this game are from areas that are much older than areas that I am currently in and have lived in, and that, again, lucky for them. There we go, JJ. Oh, come on, what's up, Palpatine? Hope you're doing well. But no, it is interesting seeing all these different road layouts. Now, I do have to ask too. So, I know what usually Working's, I guess, inspiration point is, but so what are you going for, Jedi? Because Working's going for Mars. He's from the future. He's trying to show us what some of the first colonies looked like. What's your pitch?
Mine's kind of like, maybe the world kind of looks like this now, right? Like we've like ruined the cities. There's a whole bunch of deserts everywhere, so you got to kind of like make do. So it's gonna be like a new city that's built in the desert, like outside of a wasteland or something. I don't know.
Now, what LUT are you using, Jedi? I have to ask.
God, I don't remember. Let me look here.
Because it's like, it is a truly dystopian look. It's
Relight Cool. I have no idea what that is though.
Oh, cool.
And there's a map theme too. And I'm also using Ultimate Eye Candy. So I'm toggling around that.
Zreezy, the host for the Grudge matches, is decided 100% by chat. On Saturdays, the mainline event, that's when I normally pick the thing as the host, and then chat normally helps, using a rubric and whatnot. But today is 100% chat, because this is a 100% for fun Grudge match, in which, usually working on your left, challenge ImperialJedi just above my face here, and they're doing 1 hour fun little competitive speed build. But no, so on Saturdays, yes, I do typically, as the host, judge the different builds. We normally have 4 people.
Chat is part of it, though.
Chat is part of it, yes. And they're actually a significant part. I mean, actually, and I was talking about this. In fact, I think you and I even talked about this on Sunday a little bit, Jedi, but the power that chat has is really absurd, because like sometimes they've completely flipped what me or other judges in the past have picked. And it's like really cool, because it does show that, I mean, even if there is a bias, chat can totally just throw that out the window, and I absolutely love it. It's really, really cool. And I'm pretty happy with the system that we have now with it, because it feels like everyone has it feels like everyone's satisfied with the direction that it's gone with that. And actually, just speaking of the ratings and all that, like what you guys think of it. So, Jedi and Working, what do you think of this being a 100% chat vote for the Grudge matches?
Well, I like that. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
good change,
Yeah, I think that's actually a very good idea, because not going to say that chat doesn't get a lot of points normally, but just to increase their participation, I guess, if you want it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Becomes more interesting, that to me at least.
Right. And I do like that too, and that's part of the reason why we wanted to do that, because again, this is 100% like for fun, because obviously like the monthlies are like building towards brackets, and you're going for the end of the month, and then there's the All-Stars event at the end of the year, things like that. But this is more just like a fun little challenge your friends to a Grudge match and just see what happens. And that's why it's, and also from my perspective as host, it's so much easier. You guys have no idea how much easier it is to look at these builds and know you don't have to assign numbers or ratings to any of these. This is really a stress reliever at this point. I love it.
Yeah, you can be like almost like a viewer.
Yeah, exactly. It would need to be weighted, right? Because one person may have more viewers for chat. Zreezy, yes. On so today, no. Today is 100% just raw chat vote. It will not be weighted. But generally speaking, the community does not just line up behind whoever has the most viewers. In fact, we were just talking about that because Jedi above me has the most regular viewers in the category that participates in Season Snap, and he has not won a Season Snap yet.
Not even once, bros.
And you've competed 7 total
4 or
times.
5, 6 times maybe. I don't even know now.
Yeah, you're on 6 total times now. You've made it to the finals once, but then you didn't win still. So like,
I know.
I mean, you've gotten there a few times, but you've just not quite done it. And so if it were chat just sitting there saying, "Oh, that is," and what's funny is even if you look at the chat vote, because obviously like my rubric is one thing, then you weigh in chat, and then if you still didn't win, that's one thing, but you haven't even won the chat vote. That's the thing that is telling. And
it means it's honest.
People are actually voting. Yeah, exactly. And because we always say, vote for your favorite city, not your favorite streamer. And obviously, you know, days like today, go ham. Oh, that's good then. It is good, Zreezy. It is good. And then obviously the day of the Saturday brackets and those competitions, what we normally do is chat is a part of a larger rubric that myself, or like if I have a co-host or a guest judge, things like that, we will use to sit there and rate cities based on beautification, detailing, function, etc. And then chat is weighted in there with that. And it's not enough to where basically if we did have someone like, let's just say all of Jedi's chat all voted for him, it's not enough to where they could sit there and just automatically win, but it is enough to check me as a host / judge and make sure that if there is some sort of bias, it's either obvious or it gets fixed type thing. And that's what I really like about it. So it's just enough to keep me in check without giving full power to chat to allow for just someone to come in and just have their chat only vote for them. If that makes sense, Zreezy. Let me know if that makes sense to you. But back to Bill Ham. So I do love those spires that you have usually working. They're absolutely fabulous. Do you want to tell us a little bit about those?
Yeah, so these are from it's called the Quad set. I can't remember. Maybe his name is actually Quad. And I highly appreciate it's sort of a mix of dystopian, but also very, I call it Elysian just because everyone knows that movie Elysium.
I don't know that movie, but I'll pretend I do.
Okay, well, Elysium. It's kind of the there is something greater that only rich people can achieve. And so I kind of have that theme going on here where there's all these spires that all the major corporations and all the wealthy people have, because even in the future, there's still even greater wealth inequality, which is a very much a cyberpunk and future.
You cut out there working.
Hello, Discord. Hello, checking
Yes,
Discord.
hello. We are back. Yes.
Oh, hi. Well, yeah, I'm usually working. I'm building a dome. How's that?
You know what? Sure.
I'm not quite sure how much. I'm not quite sure how much actually got cut out. But
everything after there's still
inequality.
There's still wealth inequality in the future. That's the last thing we heard.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the whole idea. We are kind of seeing that now, and so it's just going to be amplified in the future with more technology, and especially with someone who is governance over an entire other planet, such as us going to Mars or something like that. There's going to be a huge difference in wealth. And that's what it's another theme that I'm really trying to go to, is just making sure that there's realistic scenarios within this unrealistic scenario.
Right. Now, and another thing, I have to ask this on behalf of chat, because a couple people in chat will bug me for if I don't ask. So in the future, usually working, has Polyphony taken over all of Twitch?
Oh my god.
No, Polyphony is the best bot ever. And no one in the 300 years has ever had any issue with Polyphony.
He doesn't sound like he said that at gunpoint at all, does he?
We all love Polyphony. She is the best.
Why are you moving so much?
True. So yeah, thank you for making her. She completely revolutionized the entire world. It would be a shame if in 3 years, 4 days, and 27 seconds that you would accidentally not upload the new version of Polyphony. But that's just a random number that I'm throwing out. It doesn't have to actually happen because that would be so bad.
Noted. So now we have our judgment day, folks. And also now we know why we fast forwarded the Mars project, apparently. So basically, your people got off of Mars and Jedi's people just couldn't get on the ships in time and they're stuck.
Yeah, our people were the ones that got left behind, had to like rebuild.
I mean, at least you found some materials to rebuild with, so would you just demolish the old cities and just take the materials, or did you have to scavenge for new ones?
That's a good question, man. I feel like the old cities, I don't know. I feel like maybe we're built up around them. I don't know. Like this could have been like maybe a small town, that just kind of got like 5,000 population after like 200 million or something. You know what I mean?
Oh, jeez.
Not that, but you know what I mean? Just something that was small town and then just got like absorbed. Or like
actually, what's funny? This year in 2020, due to all the stuff happening, apparently a lot of small towns did see huge population jumps. Just due to all the stuff that was happening.
Too, especially if you're working at home. No need to commute.
And actually, that's a huge thing. Apparently, it is because a lot of people were thinking, well, obviously get around fewer people, but then also it was apparently just a thing of, well, my job has moved to permanently at home, so might as well be comfortable. Which is so weird to think about. Bald towns found futuristic. Exactly, it's very futuristic. Ooh, that's another thing. Jedi, are we going to see your city be walled in?
Oh man, these are all such. I don't know. We only had 25 minutes.
I had to pick and choose what kind of. I was thinking about a walled city, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna have to go with a dome as a physical barrier and just call it good.
So you're slacking off what you're saying.
Well, there's not enough time, Kaz, is what I'm trying to say.
I don't know. I mean, Jedi, for all you know, Jedi has a whole city already done.
Now, I'm going to doubt that. No offense, Jedi, but I'm just going to say no.
Do you even have a response to that, Jedi?
It's better than normal. It's more than normal. Let's just put it that way.
That's an I will accept that response. I appreciate that.
I will actually verify for him. I will verify that Jedi has significantly more down than he normally does at like double this time of the competition. So like actually, I'll put it this way:
kind of city built
with 26 minutes left, he has more down now than he does in the normal competition with 26 minutes left. That's the way it currently is. I won't say how much. I'll leave that up to your own interpretation and your own imagination working. But it is more. I can verify that.
Okay, well, that makes me feel a little bit more comfortable about winning this, so.
Oh my goodness. This is what it feels like to get stabbed, huh? Okay, I understand.
I mean, you agreed to the grudge match, Jedi.
Yeah,
you
I thought it'd be a friendly gentleman's match here. Here we are getting shots below the belt. So, what's going on?
I did say no shots below the belt, but I didn't feel like that was below the belt, and if it was, I didn't feel like calling it, so it's fair play.
It just sounds like bad judgment on your part, Kaz. I'm not gonna lie. I'm Jedi with this.
Are you saying that I'm being demoted from host? So I got demoted to host, then from host. What's worse than host?
Creator of Polyphony who destroys the world in about 279 years.
Wait, I thought it was in 4 years.
No. That was just a re-upload. That's like the pushing the rock down the hill. Eventually, there's moss grows on it, which would be 400 years in the future kind of thing. Yeah.
Got you. So you are moss on the rock. Okay, got it. So how are the moss people?
No, Mars people. Jeez, come on.
Mars, same thing. That dome looks. It is. That dome is from City Walk City Wall. Actually, did City Walk City Wall make that asset, or did he commission it? I don't remember.
I honestly don't know.
Good question.
That is a good question. That would be a question for a gentleman called City Walk City Wall.
I guess let's get him right now, boys.
Here he is. Come on down from the future.
I mean, if he is here, feel free to shout out. I mean, I'll tag with you. There you go, both green. Both are green indeed. There we go. Jedi needs water. Jedi does now. Kitty, do you mean Jedi needs water in game, or he needs to hydrate in real life?
I mean, maybe both.
Yeah, use those
maybe
channel
both,
points.
okay.
And channel points, that's what that's for.
I mean, that's what I'm gonna. I mean, at this point, I should just like sit there and like make an arm that like waters me or something whenever someone hits the channel points. Just a little robotic arm reaches in off screen, just like hydrates me like a plant. Don't forget to water your streamers, guys.
Water your favorite streamers today so they can grow to be the size of Ninja.
If you water your favorite streamer and sprinkle this ninja seed on them, they will grow into a great streamer.
They're also called bits.
Okay. Oh wow! Just that really subtle play there from Johnny.
that was very smooth. I appreciate that.
I did too. I actually really like that. If you water your streamer and give them plenty of bits, you'll soon enough see them. I'm pretty sure we could turn that into a weird slogan. Cushioning CS assets is the newest trend. It really is. Now, keep in mind, this is actually from, like, before, because, like, it has become really popular in the last, like, I'd say the last 3 or 4 months it's really caught fire. But the City Walk City Wall city started, like, 8 months ago or so, isn't it? Because wasn't it back in March?
I think it was, like, right at the start of, right at the start, I guess that was 8 months.
Yeah, because I think it was right before Sunset Harbor, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was right before Sunset Harbor. I know Season of Snap had started whenever... I know it had already started, so it was after the middle of February, whenever the City Walk City Wall series started. I just don't remember the exact timing. Yeah, but who is to say Ninja is a great streamer? Oh, it's true. There you go. Rip. We're not going to rip on streamers here. We were just trying to make some fun jokes. If we're going to rip on streamers, we're going to rip on the streamers that are present in this stream right now.
Exactly.
That's the people that we rip on. Because that's the way we do it. We do nothing but build each other up. Except during Season of Snap, in which case we try to tear each other down. And then right afterwards, we raid each other and try and build each other up again. It's a beautiful cycle of life, wouldn't you guys say? And what
Yeah,
the
I
heck
think
is
so.
usually wearing? Usually you want to explain what you're wearing again.
Okay, so this is 300 years in the future, and this is the Mars Command. I'm a Martian commanding officer at the Mars headquarters, and this is what we just wear. So I have a cat shirt that has the universe on it because cats are cute, and there's no actual form of happiness in 300 years on Mars because it's so like dull. So at the same time, I'm also wearing a haptic vest. That way, I could feel all the alerts coming in while also having LEDs on it.
You
Because
really have a happy vest? You being serious?
yeah, no, 100%. This is a complete haptic vest right now. Um, yeah, it is. I mean, it's really expensive, but not expensive because it's the future.
Oh, of
At
course,
the
every
same time,
time, yeah.
also, we're kind of like cyberpunky. And what's more punk than wearing a beret with headphones, with lights on it? So, this is essentially the future of fashion. This is it. And I don't have any bioargumentations yet because of, well, science. But in the future, I would just kind of like,
It's
I would have
science, ethics, slowing
I would have
all
my
the
Stream
time.
Deck in my mind. So like that way I just my Stream Deck close my eyes and it would push all the buttons. So that's what I'm actually wearing is the outfit of the Mars Command in the future because it has extra lights, and that's why.
And he has also confirmed that in the future it is 1000% proven that RGB does make everything go faster.
Yeah, no,
Permanently.
that was science from like the 1900s. Let's be real.
All right, so folks, what do we think right now? If you were to call it right now, who has the best city right now? Who do you think? We still got 20 minutes to go, but what do you think, chat?
I
Usually
really
working
like
or Imperial Jedi?
I really like usually working. His city is so cool. And what is such a cool guy too at the same time.
You got
Oh,
someone in
thank
chat saying Cybex.
oh,
Someone else
Lord.
saying polyphony.
Out of here.
Someone else saying usually. None of the above from someone else. I'm like, oh, wow.
Okay, chat. You know what? See, you thought I was roasting. Look at chat. Look at chat go.
Man, I was worried about you guys tearing each other up, but clearly it's just chat's job.
We
Taradra's
are
city is best. Okay.
How-
Taradra's beating you.
Well, I mean, that is true.
He's beating you by not playing, honestly. Let's be honest. Oh my gosh. What do we do for write-in votes? Who are you going to write in, Skeptic? That's what I want to know. Usually working. So it does, I think usually working, overall better theme going by, like the concept of where Jedi is heading, but I don't know if he can pull it through in the time left.
We'll see. We got 18 minutes, boys.
Ooh, I won't say who that was that said that, Jedi, but ooh, you got a fire lit under you now. You've got 18 and a half minutes. Let's go.
That's Roger.
That's true. Ooh, Kitty Claw did win the first Grudge match, so who's going to win the second? Who's going to be the second Grudge match winner? Or will it just be Kitty Claw again? It'll probably be Kitty Claw again, let's all be
Kitty wins
honest.
this one too for some reason. I don't know why, but she just wins it again.
She just wins it again somehow. I wasn't even competing. Or just like, I'll just like call Taraja and be like, hey Taraja, congratulations on winning the second Grudge match. She's going to be like,
Hey,
what?
you win again.
He's going to be like, what? Vote me! I mean, I'll vote for you, Kitty. I'll see if you're on the ballot or not. Because right now the ballot is just going to be Imperial Jedi and usually working. May I just put a third option that is none of the above?
Oh my god.
But chat would 100% only do that though, Kaz. You know that.
Oh no, they would. Like, so I actually used to, so during Sunset Harbor, I was taking a lot, like during the Sunset Harbor launch, I was taking a lot of like opinion polls, like, hey, what do we think of this feature? And I have typically 3 or 4 options. And then I would always throw on like a random 5th option that made absolutely no sense. It would be something like Albuquerque when asking what's your favorite new form of transit here. And they would always pick the random answer. And it would be like no one else voting for the rest. So it's like, I've got to stop putting random answers in there. Clearly that's all we're doing. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I didn't learn that fast enough, Jedi. How long did it take you to learn that? Hopefully faster than me. It took me a full month.
Learn what?
It took me a full month not to trust chat with random options and voting polls.
Oh my god, yo, chat. What do you mean chat is a beacon of trust? What do you mean? What are you trying to say, huh?
So I'll tell you about your beacon of trust, chat. Trust, Jedi. So your beacon of trust, while I was playing EU4 earlier, was like, oh yeah, you're probably going to die in this coalition. You should totally ride the coalition. You're going to die. You should totally ride it. That's your beacon of trust right
I
there.
got a lot of faith in you.
Obviously, it did not work well. It really did not work well.
That was pretty good. Trees added in there too, and then I think I'm gonna make a garbage dump over here because this is where the slums are, right? It should just be trash.
Oh wow, and I can't believe Jedi has actually managed to fill half the map. Like, how is that even possible?
I know what's going on here. Look at this, boys.
I mean, half the map is filled, and usually working. You've got like a speck over there. What's going on with that?
Okay, it's called class and intelligence. Realism. That's what I want.
Oh, class and intelligence.
Yeah, except for right now, I'm kind of making a dump. So let's just completely forget I said intelligence.
Where are you actually making a dump?
Yeah,
I'm curious to see this dump.
Why would you not make a dump? It's literally Mars. Where am I going to put my trash? It doesn't just magically go away. It's science.
I don't know. Don't you just like launch it into the sun?
Okay, that takes a lot of fuel. Do you know about fuel, Kaz? You know how much rocket fuel costs?
I don't know. At least $1.
Well, polyphony doesn't allow us to make rocket fuel anymore. But
Mars, would you have a space elevator and like like an orbital space station to land on, or would you have people?
Exactly. Orbital ring structure, elevators, boom.
Let's ask Polyphony why she destroyed this space elevator because we were escaping. Why don't we just ask that? But I didn't ask that. Please, someone else say they asked that because I didn't ask that.
I'm pretty sure you did, but we'll go ahead and ignore it for what I assume is your own safety. No, just jumping off the side of the map like SC. Oh my gosh, I did love that, by the way, in SimCity 4, how you could literally just dump all your trash on your neighbors. Does anyone else miss doing that in SimCity 4?
I miss SimCity 4 in general, man.
I kind of do too.
If the curved roads weren't so jank, you know, like the weird like diagonalists, I'd play that game a lot still.
Honestly, it was really good for a lot. And honestly, one thing I really miss, and I know a lot of people hated it, and it got memed to snot across the internet, but the Advisor Council. I loved the advisors. They were so good.
That.
What?
I wish Skylines had like that little advisor cancel kind of vibe.
I do. Like, even just that, it added so much personality. But the thing is, if they did just, like, add that with no context, it would be very obvious what they were doing. So they would need a unique pull on it, obviously. But it's just something that is so good. Someone needs to come up with an advisor system like, Cuboid, where's Cuboid? We need to get him to make this mod. Cuboid, we have a new project for you.
Q, you haven't been doing anything ever.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah.
I know, right? We need to get that guy to work on something. Jeez. I mean, what's he been doing lately? It's not like he's moving anything.
Yeah, he has. I mean, he's kind of shaking and moving and stuff, but not really lately. You know what I mean?
Oh, really? Yeah, nothing lately? Okay. Cuboid says no, and then he did a very creepy smile. Or actually, it was just a smile, but I'm really imagining it's a very creepy smile. Like that smile someone gives you when they're like, no, and tilt their head ever so slightly to the left, and it's just like, I'm gonna die.
Okay, what kind of people do you hang out with? I'm kind of worried about you right now.
Right now I hang out with my 2 cats, my wife, and my housemate. I'm also starting to go insane a little bit. Why do you ask?
Just fine, because I hang out with the same kind of people, and I'm kind of going insane also.
Same with me.
Maybe we're just all insane anyways. Wait, maybe we're the sane ones and the rest of the insane ones. Have we ever thought of that?
That's what a bunch of sane people would say to other sane people.
Exactly. Don't forget you hang out with Polyphony. I do hang out with... Wait a minute, I don't hang out with Polyphony. Polyphony hangs out with me. Yeah, that's right. Isn't all Cuboid smiles equal and disturbed? Yeah.
Here in the future, I love to hang out with Polyphony too.
I feel like in the future, Cuboid would also be a bot. You know, Cuboid would have like made himself into a mod and became like sentient. You know, via that way somehow.
Yeah, I predict that too. I'm predicting that in the next 13 to 14 years. Can we get confirmation on this working?
Like the Cuboid desktop assistant. Cuboid lives on your computer.
Cuboid OS. QoS.
Yeah. QoS. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, we need to get on this. We need to get on this QoS.
Wait a minute, are we talking about? Wait, Cuboid, like, it's spelled Quboid, right?
Oh my god, yes. That could be like a keyboard.
Well, no, so the Cuboid revolt of 2147, it completely decimated all of the Earth.
Is that why Jedi's map looks like someone died?
Maybe. I'm having death waves already, eh?
Actually, I said that, and you actually are, and that's really funny. I wasn't even looking at your map. I was looking at chat when I said that, but that's really funny that I said it at that moment. Oh my goodness. So let's go ahead and check out what the individual folks are doing now. So folks, we've got about 11 and a half minutes left, folks. How's it feel with 11 and a half minutes to go? Working?
I mean, I'm feeling pretty good. Doing some final detailing here. Just the last 10 minutes to get some final detailing, get some story bits down. Because I love a little bit of story bits, a little bit of lore to go along with it.
Well, I mean, what's a city without lore?
A town, I guess, technically.
Wow, that was not the answer I was looking for. Let's hope that Jedi gives me something I'm looking for. Jedi, what's up with your city right now?
I'm a little bit nervous here. We got 10 minutes left, and I feel like I got an hour and 20 minutes for the building to do.
Of course, you feel like you have more than even the 2-hour time frame to have to do. But
Dude, my theme was not to go too big, and I went way too big.
You know what? I think you can do it, though. If you return to the speed you had at the beginning of the competition, I think you can do it. I have faith in you. You have half the map filled. I believe you can fill the other half of the map. Wink.
I think we can do it, but it's just like, I got a really motor here. This is nerve-wracking.
Oh, no, that's fine. So actually, out of curiosity, so for both of you, is it more nerve-wracking right now, or is it more nerve-wracking at this point in the 2-hour competition?
I don't know. I feel like they're like the same but different.
I feel like they are too, because like this one feels more chill to me, but it's also a bit more hype. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I feel like I'm trying a little bit harder for this one, even.
Why do you think you're trying harder on this one?
Because I want to win.
Is it because you don't want to lose to working?
No, I just want to win finally.
I mean, it'll be about time for you to win, because this will be your 7th time participating in a cities event. And if not, then I mean, you're basically guaranteed a victory against me in a couple weeks, or a few weeks, whenever we schedule that for. So there'll be that.
That's so much fun, by the way.
Oh, it is. I can't wait. It's going to be absolutely legendary. And actually, believe it or not, I'll be jumping into the fray before that, because Grudge match number 3, chat, is going to be Eclipse Chris versus Kazgem. It'll be right here on this channel. It'll be, of course, we'll work out the time and date and all that, but it'll probably be a weekday evening, kind of like this. Maybe a little earlier in the day, maybe a little later. We'll figure out. Probably a little later, though, or sorry, earlier, rather, to accommodate the fact that Chris and I are on opposite sides of the Atlantic. A city without lore is a snore. You know, Slippery Pete has a point. Slippery Pete has a point. So, Jedi, what kind of lore does your city have? We know we don't have to ask working. We know he has lore. But what's your lore?
Oh God. You can drive really fast. That's the lore in here. Like, the police don't care. You can just drive so fast here. You know?
Wait, that's not lore. That's just a speed limit.
Yeah, that's just a speed limit, Jedi. Do you know what lore is?
Appeal?
What?
Like the lore? I don't know. Like I'm not an English historian. Tell me here.
Lore is like a story or like a history, a historical reasoning and setting for why something exists.
Yeah, backstory. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh geez, I can't think and build. Oh my God, what is this? I wanted to, it's just like, it's a small town that was outside of, say, like a big city in the desert region, and the big city got like ruined due to like poor planning and like garbage and stuff, and then they kind of like learned from what they ruined, and then brought everything over to here and like built up a small town.
Okay, I can kind of see that.
I don't know, some like small county next door, and just like blew up the population.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. And Skeptic Gamer, I will be hosting, because this is a much different format. We're going to try it with just me versus Eclipse, and then actually for Grudge match number 4, myself versus ImperialJedi, that will actually be hosted by the 4 lovely ladies that participated in the charity stream. I think it's going to be a blast. I think it's going to be an absolute blast, and honestly, me and Jedi are just going to be the background entertainment. It's just going to be them, and me and Jedi are just going to try our best to stay out of the way. It's going to be perfect and beautiful. I mean, should we like bring a book or something to read, Jedi?
How to build a city for dummies or something like that. Remember those things?
You know, wait, is that actually a book? I need this book. Hang on. This is actually a book. I have to find out. Let's see here. City building for dummies. I have to know.
It's got to be.
Building a Minecraft city for dummies is a thing.
I mean, that's close enough.
Cityville for dummies. Oh, hey, yeah, that's it. Hey, well, there you go. Oh, no, it's about... Oh, it's Cityville. Cityville is a different simulation game. Okay, that's interesting.
Isn't that
Well, I just
super
discovered
old
another
game?
city building. I don't know. The book was released in 2011, so I don't know.
Yo, you checked out New City, by the way?
I have seen New City. I haven't gone too far into it. I asked them if I could have access to it a while ago.
I grabbed
I
it on
haven't
the
checked
opening
much
day, and
into
I
it.
haven't played it since. It seems okay.
That's kind of what I've seen in their Discord, is that it's like, it's one of those things that it's a good foundation, but not exactly like, dude, this is the most rock solid foundation ever, but it's like,
Yeah,
this is
they're
a good
not quite
foundation with
there
lots
yet.
of places to go. It's kind of like a City Skylines 0.5. Like if they had released a version of City Skylines like 2 years prior.
That's
or
a
year
really
and
good
half
way to
prior.
describe it, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of the reception I've gotten from it, and that's kind of what I've gotten from just going through the Discord, asking them about it. But again, it could be something else, who knows. There we go. And then it looks like... Oh my goodness, I just realized it's entirely possible you guys have been getting that ad on there. I'm sorry about that. We need Skylines 2. Maybe. I know Trolls has a 10-minute quick city build video. It's true, he does have one. A lot of people do, actually, thanks to that Biffa challenge. The big city elected Kashim as mayor. It's true.
That's such a fun challenge.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was actually super fun, to be honest. Like, I would
It
appreciate.
randomly brought so
No,
many
challenge.
people together.
It was so fun. I loved doing the season snap day of that, too. The tournament style thing. That was so fun.
Yeah, that was good too.
It
Yeah.
was really chaotic to organize, though, and that's the one thing that... And that's actually the one thing that I... Because, like, Jedi, you and I mentioned this briefly on Sunday, too, but, like, that's actually one of the only reasons why we haven't tried to do something like that again, is because it really asks a lot of the streamer. Because, like, Jedi, if you're, like, in the 4th bracket of 8, and possibly in the final, what do you do during that interim? Like, that's the big thing. I don't have anything for you guys to do in the interim. That's the only thing that's keeping me from doing it. Because I don't want to require people to sit there and, like, stream dead air or, like, switch to some random game, etc. when they'd maybe rather be watching the event. So it's just, I don't know, it's weird. And as soon as I have a solution to that, we'll totally do more of those. But right now, it's just, it's not fair to the participants, to Jedi, to working, to anyone else that's participating. Because it's just, it doesn't really make sense. I mean, I don't know. Jedi's probably got ideas that I don't for it, though. CS2 or optimized CS. Optimized CS, they can optimize this game, I think, without releasing a Skylines 2. I fully believe they could optimize this one. That's just my personal belief, though. And folks, Adventures of AJ has just reminded us, folks, you've got 3 minutes and 42 seconds left.
Mulligan, give me another hour, please.
Nope. You agreed to this. You agreed to this. I have your signature.
Oh God, my
in
heart
blood.
is racing. I thought scary games were scary.
I know, right? But you know, it's okay, folks. This is a Season Snap Grudge Match Edition. This is a fun little matchup between usually working an Imperial Jedi, usually working building a futuristic Martian-type colony, and then Imperial Jedi doing a kind of dystopian future type thing, kind of the main city around it got bombed or something, and, you know, Jedi is building for the survivors, and he is trying to help them flourish in the ashes. Because, honestly, that's kind of what your sand looks like, is ashes. Oh my goodness, I can't unsee that now. Jedi, your sand looks like ashes.
Oh boy.
Can you tell me I'm wrong?
No, you ain't wrong.
Oh my goodness. Insert city names. Kids.
Too late now, too late now.
Sharpest knives in the drawer. It's true. 1 hour extension granted to Jedi. You can't do that, Death Scream. I'm the host, not you. Like, lol, I genuines and ROG. That's unusual. I know, right? That's why I'm going to start inviting Jedi to, like, a 1 second speed build, because then he'll get it done in an hour.
Oh my God. Time dilation.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, do you just, like, live in a... Do you live with, like, a wormhole nearby or something? That's like
I live in
messing
a
with time?
world where, like, I don't know, man. I'm so ambitious or something. I think this is maybe a good thing fundamentally, but I just feel like I can do way more than I actually can. It's like when your ego writes checks that your body will never cash, you know?
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I'm very much that type of person too, where it's like I get really ambitious about something. I'm sort of like, let's do this thing, and then it's like, oh, this might not be a good idea, but we did it anyways. SimCity is just taking a nap. It'll come back someday. Ignis, I think they're trying to sleep off and lick their wounds right now. I think that's really what it is. Because right now,
Dude, I feel like there's going to be another SimCity. I don't know.
There
I'm
will
nothing to
be.
base this off of, but I feel like there's going to be.
There will be at some point. I guarantee
It's
there
such
will
a
be.
household name still, man.
Well, and that's the thing. They will sell millions of copies, millions and millions, just because it's called SimCity. Just
Exactly.
like, I mean, that mobile game has sold millions and millions of copies because it's SimCity. And they can do it. Just, I think they're making the wise choice of letting it breathe a little bit. Because releasing a successful game after that last game of theirs, that's a mistake. They had to let that breathe. They have to let people kind of move on from it before they kind of return to it. Otherwise, they're just damaging the property. At least in my opinion.
I don't know. I feel like enough time's gone by.
I feel that too, but you know how much time is left here, Jedi? 60 seconds.
Ooh, 1 minute. I was like, okay, we're close.
Yeah, you're pretty close. They're working. So, folks, they are doing their last touches right now. They are getting things done, and they are trying to get the best futuristic builds they can. They've had an hour to build, but with just 44 seconds left, who will come out on top? Who will win Grudge Match number 2? And who will be named the second Grudge Match champion behind the one and only Kitty Claude? Ooh, you know what we should do? One of you guys should challenge Kitty Claude, whoever wins. Ooh, la la. I like the sound of that. There we go. Let's see if this works out, folks, because with 30 seconds to go, we are about there, folks. And then we've got 20 seconds. Get your last details in now, folks. Your final details now. I love the giant pink thing, by the way. Absolutely fabulous. And, folks, we've got 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. The build is done. It is perfect. It is beautiful, folks. And that is Season Snap Grudge Match number 2 wrapped up in a nutshell. We are going to now take a brief tour with both of these cities. And of course, usually working, you are the one that challenged. So we are going to let Jedi explain his city first. Sorry, I had to mess with you there.
No, I understand. Please, losers first.
Oh, are you going to take that, Jedi?
Dude, I don't know what to say. I wish I wanted the city build.
Oh my goodness. You know what, Jedi? Take as much time as you need, as long as it's within 5 minutes. How's that sound?
Oh, that sounds great.
All right. Well, you got 5 minutes. Explain yourself. And chat, this is your time to just observe the city.
Well,
Jedi,
welcome to the future city of Cyber Cruise, where it's the dystopian future. It's like 2142. We've made a lot of mistakes. We've destroyed some of the larger cities and had to relocate to a new city in the desert, in the kind of the wastelands of the old. And so we try to plan a city that would not take up too much space, give us some room still to kind of grow, but it's got a lot of density and population. And we got things like monorails, high-speed transit, that kind of stuff. Definitely a lot of, RGB, the faster you go, the more lights you have, right? So city of lights right here. And that's pretty nice skyline too. And just pretty much like one way in, one way out, so we can kind of control,
Right. I do like that a lot. So now, as far as your details, so like, what makes this super futuristic? Like, I'm looking at this. What makes me think this is a city of the future type thing?
I want to say like density, especially for some of the heights. The fact that our transit is pretty much a monorail that runs throughout, that'd be like ridiculously expensive in a non-future city, because in the future things are like just affordable, I guess, right?
Right. Now, with all of that, so what kind of mods, what kind of assets were you looking for to help make this build? Because it does definitely feel like a new urbanist feel, but what kind of assets were you using that you think are, I guess, critical to your build?
It was just like, it was a few collections that were kind of like, cyberpunk and like title or like, future and air quotes, that kind of stuff. But it seems like it's a lot of just major cities. They're like tallest buildings all kind of sandwiched together. And then the Avengers headquarters, which look killer.
Wait, you got Avengers? Oh my goodness, I need that asset. Hang on. You can do whatever you want. I'm going to the workshop right now. Hang on.
You want it? Here, 1 second.
Oh, see, you're just going to link it
to
Yo,
check it out. A shout for Cuboid. Watch this. I'll pick her. We'll click on it. Right, find out where it is, which is right here. I have another one, Improve Content Manager. Right click, bada bing, bada boom. Here's the workshop.
Wait. No, that is amazing.
Is this the future or what?
I
Whatever,
need
messed
that
up.
mod. That is amazing. That is good interplay
messed
right
up.
there. Oh my goodness. That's fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. I learned something from Jedi. I can't believe I learned something from Jedi. No, that's absolutely legendary. Wow, I absolutely love it. I love that building so much. Oh boy, here we go.
It's in my chat. There you go.
How's Cass have something on the workshop not in his
Oh,
arsenal?
dude,
Oh, come
perfect.
on.
Look at this, eh? Perfect, on brand.
Oh my goodness. Obviously perfectly on brand. That is beautiful. I love it. And of course, you've got your Jedi fires to end things. So other than fires, anything else you'd like to say about your city, today's match, your competition? Are you throwing down the towel,
Oh man,
so to
usually
speak?
working, dude. He's like such a household name here. We love him so much. This is awesome. I'm glad he challenged me. And I feel like too, like personally, this is the fastest I've ever built. Like this much. Like I'm shocked, man. This is
Why
normally
can't
not
you
even
get
what
that
I
much
do
done in
2 or
2
3
hours?
I fundamentally don't know, man. This is so confusing for me.
Like, the closest you came was your Toronto build from a few months ago. Do you remember that one?
Mm-hmm. That's still kind of
Because you
on
started
the
Toronto?
back burner.
Right, but like you started on Season Snap, and like you did really well on that one, except you had like a few gaps that
Oh,
ended up costing
that
you.
one. Oh, that city, dude. That was a good one. That was the campus build where I was against usually working.
No, it was the one before that, the one that was a waterfront.
Oh,
You had the rail that went really long.
yeah. Yeah, that one I still have too, actually, on the back burner.
Yeah, that one. But anyway, so yeah, it looks great. I do really love what I see. I love the story that you came up for. It's really great.
Yeah, I just wish it had a little bit more depth, though. You know.
It needs a little bit more depth, but you know what? Honestly, in an hour, that's incredible. I mean, you realize that most people over the course of an hour barely have a couple of streets with houses on them, right?
I am those people. What do you mean?
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what I'm saying. Like ordinarily, but like this has brought a lot out, and I absolutely love it. So any final comments in the last 40 seconds or so?
Invest in Bitcoin.
Of course you're pressing Bitcoin. Well, aside
You
from
see my
Bitcoins,
shirt
that is
too, right?
Jedi. Yes, I do see your shirt. It is beyond fabulous. I'm sad that you aren't wearing the helmet though.
I tried. I don't think it would have worked though.
You know what? We'll find a way to get that to work eventually. Hint, hint, wink, wink. But folks, in the meantime, this is for your consideration. Twitch.tv/ImperialJedi. Working. What do you think of his city?
Well, I thought it was great. I just want to make a correction. It's called Polyphony Coin in the future. So I know Bitcoin is good right now, but Polyphony Coin in the future. I legally have to say only Polyphony Coin. Just want to let TLDR legally have to say that.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, as long as those disclosures are out of the way, so hear that, get your Polyphony stocks now. Anyways, oh my goodness. So
That's insider trading. You can't say that.
oh, I can't. Okay, I won't say that anymore. I also will probably try to forget it. So, anyways, folks, for your consideration, Twitch.tv/ImperialJedi, and now let's take it away to usually working.
Oh,
You know the
hello.
drill.
I am, in fact, usually working. All right, so today, there is a little bit of lore. There's no like written storyline. I'm kind of getting away from that just because it's a little bit easier to flow with everything. This right here, when I think of the future, I think of a little bit of cyberpunk, a little bit of Mars, and a little bit of humanity, which means that the aspects of humanity that we have now have been amplified. So lights have been amplified, music has been amplified, the cities have been amplified, but also injustices in poverty and all these other kind of things have been amplified, such as my outfit itself, which
I
is
love
me,
your outfit. I just opened up your stream finally. You look awesome, dude.
my Mars Commander outfit. So lights, of course, make everything go faster, which makes my brain go faster because it's on my beret. So to get with the actual city itself, I wanted to do a Mars build, and in particular, a Mars dome with open top. So a Mars dome with a open top means that there are things that are going to stick out of the top because they're intentionally built that way to be pressurized. And of course, up here at the very top and outside of the dome, so people who live outside of the dome that high are actually going to be the richest, the wealthiest. They're going to have the personal shuttles, the personal transports all the way out, and they're going to have their personal landing pads on the top of their roofs so they don't have to deal with the commoners below. But also at the same time, once you get into the dome, it is absolutely just an amazing ecosystem. So in the center of the dome is going to be all the business sections where all the mega corporations, because monopolies that's not a thing anymore. Everyone can do whatever they want. So you're going to have the mega corporations, and they're going to own the center of this dome. And that's also where you're going to have all your power generation and everything. To the sides of that, on the outlying sides, it is going to be very grid-like, because grid-like is easy to make, and especially when you're in Mars and you have a reduced amount of material, you're not going to do anything super fancy. You'll have a maintenance road around the side, and you'll throw in whatever kind of housing you have in there. You'll have your big grids in the middle, and you're going to do a shape of a T. In this one in particular, just to break it up, I did the shape of an H, just so that the center road that comes in can break off in the middle, and that reduces the amount of traffic, so the traffic flows into one part and then can flow to any of the other parts. In the back, we are going to have the largest part of the housing district, which is going to be here. So here is essentially the large mega building style housing districts. And these are all going to be essentially self-contained cities. There are self-contained cities, essentially. They're going to have all the amenities in the self, but of course you want a little bit extra. And of course, so around these mega buildings, just due to psychology, you're going to want to have a little bit of extra open space. So you're going to have all the trees. You're going to have all the stuff around this. If we move on to this side, this is more of the entertainment district. And of course, guess what? We have tiered farms, Kaz, by the way. You wanted tiered farms? I didn't even mention this. God damn it. We have tiered farms right here. I got you. I hooked you up. We also want to do a lot of water, because water is going to be a luxury on Mars, because you can't really make it. You don't do it. I'll move over here. The regular normal housing districts, these are going to be cookie cutter, because these are going to be 3D printed using huge concrete building machines. As you go down, you're going to slowly lose everything all the way until you get to the slums. And there's always going to be slums with all the migrant workers and everything. So these are all going to be the Earthlings, and these are going to be the non-Martian borns, or non-Marsies, as us Martians call them. So we call them non-Marsies. And then, of course, you're going to have some kind of
Working. You dropped out again.
a refuse area known as a dump. Oh, sorry about that, guys.
Oh no.
Okay. And here is actually an old ruins of one of the first starts of the buildings, and then it's built up on there. And then, of course, there is always going to be a dump, and the dump is going to always be next to the slums. So all these migrant workers are the people that actually come and throw all this refuse into here, and that's where they're going to have to live by. And on the opposite side, here is Old Town. So Old Town is using the old construction materials and the old buildings and everything. We pretended like we needed grass anymore. We didn't know any better. And so once we have moved from that, we've moved to the concrete cookie cutter buildings, but these are more economical and more justified. And then overall, you have the Hyperloop that brings in all of the people from the high-speed trains from all the other domes. And this is Mars Dome 2743 Charlie.
Nice. Dude, you're outstanding. Like, this is so good, especially the story.
I'm clapping.
I know. Like, damn it, you're so good. I'd lose another one. God damn it.
Well, we don't know that yet.
Oh, we know. Come on, you kidding me? We know.
Hey, dude, think a little higher of yourself.
Oh, no. I think very highly of myself, but I know who I'm up against right now.
He thinks highly of himself. You heard it here first, folks.
Listen, you shut your butt, right?
Is that entrapment? I'm pretty sure that's entrapment. So let's go ahead, and we're going to get the poll up right immediately, because obviously, I mean, this is chat vote. I don't have to do anything. So let's go ahead and, well, other than set up the poll, obviously. It probably won't be rigged. So let's go ahead and CIS Grudge match number 2 chat vote. And if you don't see this pop up here in a moment, you'll be able to vote using /vote1 or /vote2 for usually working or ImperialJedi. So while they're all voting, what do you two think of each other's cities?
Yo, I didn't even have it open till just now. Yours is so good, man. Like, so much planning.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I also I want to commend you because I know that there's a lot of people who, I'm not going to say, I don't want to offend you by saying build slower, but to do and accept something as a 1 hour thing, I really appreciate it.
Oh, dude, I would never turn on a challenge from you. I think you're awesome, man. And like this was fun. This is fun, like a little personal challenge too, to push myself.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. And when I first started doing these shorter ones, it was too big essentially. And I know that you usually build big anyways, and so
yeah, I think I went like maybe 4 blocks outward from the center. Like if I just done that, I would have been good instead of doing like 8 or 10 blocks out.
yeah, and because once you start spamming, then yeah, but I actually do appreciate your building, and I'm a huge Marvel fan. I mean, well, you can see there's the Avengers poster right there. Well, actually, that's the Infinity War poster.
Yeah, I didn't realize I was in the asset thing till I saw it when I placed it.
Yeah, I love that asset. I don't have it because you just showed it to me, so I'm 100% gonna go download that right now.
I've already downloaded it. Spoiler alert.
Man. Yo, and then this Tron building, eh?
Yeah, I think I have that one. I may have that one actually. I may
That kind of blue one. I love that one.
They both did do great. You all are absolutely correct. Be sure to type /vote1 or /vote2 in chat if you don't see the poll above you. Again, you've got about 75 to 85 seconds left, folks. So get your voices heard. And of course, yeah, these guys both have done great. If you don't already follow them, be sure to do so. They're absolute legends. They participate in Season Snap normally. Again, this is an off night for Season Snap. This is a grudge match event. The mainline event continues on Saturday with the Rural UK build. That's, of course, the standardized 2-hour city building competition. And again, be sure to tune in every Saturday for the best esport on Twitch. # Cities in a Snap. How's that for a self-plug, guys?
I know. Dude, it's fun, man. Like, this is fun. Doing the cancer thing, that was absolutely killer. That was so much fun, dude. And just like week after week, man, it's been so cool to see like new people, get the community together.
We've discovered a lot of people this event too. That's another thing that I love about it. Like, I've discovered streamers because people have applied and I've been like, oh, who's this guy? And then it's just like, oh, this guy's great. Like, it's absolutely great. Is it going to tie? I don't know if it's going to tie. Are you guys actually going to tie it? Oh my goodness.
I don't know. How are we going to do that?
If it's a tie, we are going to...
Oh, we have another face-off? It's a tie?
You can have another face-off, but then for today's like you guys, I have a round 2, but for fun, because I have to be able to declare a winner too, we will play.
Can't the winner be all of us and the friendship that we made and yeah, right.
Really, chat? Really, chat? Really,
was it tied?
Really?
Is it a tie?
They tied it.
Oh
that
my god!
I'm very happy, by the way. If we had a tie here.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well,
listen, I love my really city. Good. I just feel like usually working, like doing more of a theme and being like built in that dome. That's so smart. I loved it.
So I'm going to pick a random number that I haven't seen on either of your guys' stream.
No, it's a tie. It's a tie. It's official.
Hang on. Who is making the most money or losing the most money?
Oh, I'm definitely losing the most. I got the most fires too.
Like, who is the furthest from zero in the amount of money they bring in or lose per day?
Absolute
value.
Here.
Right now, I have paused. I'm at negative $722 with 16,000.
Oh, he's way more fiscally responsible. This is the future
Jedi?
where like we already know things are messed up. We gotta start buying Bitcoin. We start, money's been devalued, boys.
He's filibustering so he doesn't have to reveal how much money he's losing.
Minus 61,000 credits. It's an oof. Yeah, it's like we might balance one day, but the monorail, it's expensive to run, right?
That's wow. Well, folks, you saw it here first. Honestly, a tie. It's a great tie, and honestly, that's all we need. I picked a random number just for the fun of it, but yeah, this is a tie. Congratulations. Usually working ImperialJedi on tying up the grudge match number 2. And folks, what do you think of this format? And what do you guys think now that you're done with it? Like, isn't it fun? Would you guys recommend this to a friend?
A little bit stressful, the right kind,
Now, the real question, chat. Is anyone going to challenge someone else from chat before we end? I'll give you guys a minute to try and challenge. Come on,
hey,
I know you guys want to challenge.
I have a challenge for you.
He's oddly quiet.
Yeah. Jedi. Hello.
It's for me? Oh, I'm trying to chat. I was like, oh, I'm listening. I'm like, I'm all ears. But yeah, it's for me.
Oh,
okay,
man. Okay. Hey. Well, we did a future build and we tied. What if we do a historical 1900 build?
Oh man, I would
the
love
next
that.
time.
Yes.
So turn of the century, turn of the
Oh yeah, like
20th
colonial
century.
style even. Yes.
Early like 1910s, because I know there's
Um,
already a lot of great
so,
assets. So why don't we do
what
that? So
country?
that you and I meet, my good
Oh,
sir, it
that's a
will be in
good
the 1900s. I want a costume.
Oh, okay,
You
okay.
want a
Yeah, I'll do a call.
costume?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll look like a lord or something.
Yeah, that
Okay.
would,
We'll have to come up with a date for this. So,
Back then, we'll do,
are you
right?
guys saying that that's going to be grudge match number 5?
Maybe 5 or 6. Is anyone getting ahead of us here? I mean, we can steal
Maybe
the show
5 or
again.
6, yeah. Let's say that you guys are going to be grudge match number. You guys, we'll get you guys lined up somewhere in there. But folks,
yeah.
that is
yeah,
it
let
for
other
today. And I
Let's
want
push
to
it out.
thank Imperial Jedi and Usually Working for being such lovely contestants. Thank you so much for coming out, being part of the Season Snap community, doing the grudge matches. It's absolutely a blast. Congratulations on tying. Very well done, both of you. I absolutely love it. Do you have any final words before I close out?
If you don't mind, I'll start real quick, Jedi. I want to thank Kaz. Thank you for setting all this up.
Yeah, you're awesome, man. The whole idea of the season of Snap, the fact that it's still going, like this is awesome, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Jedi, thank you for being such a good sport, and thank you for coming on in and accepting my challenge. And,
Dude,
and
I have a lot of respect for you, man. I think you're awesome. I really appreciate you challenging me.
well, I appreciate you, and I enjoy hanging out in your stream. So I guess Kaz, thank you very much, and you have a lovely voice. How's that, Kaz?
He does. He's got a lovely voice and beautiful hair. Oh my goodness.
I was waiting for it. The moment he said beautiful voice, I was like, I'm waiting on Jedi. I know it's coming.
I literally am still fangirl. Every time I see Kaz on stream, I'm like, God, this guy's got beautiful fucking hair, you know? Like, holy smokes.
What a great.
Oh my goodness.
So random. So random.
And with the complimenting of Kazjim's voice and hair, me, Kazjim, I'm going to be leaving you all adieu. Be sure to tune in Saturday. Thank you all again for coming out today, and we will see you for Saturday's Rural UK build. And until next time, this is Kazjim hosting Cities and Snap, signing out. See ya!